Good morning, my loves. Happy Wednesday. It is another glorious day here at the lake. And today we are celebrating. I almost put this out yesterday, but I'm doing it today instead. I am excited. Today's a big day for me. Today I celebrate 11 years being cancer-free. 11 years ago today, I had a double mastectomy. The original ones tried to kill me. They got to go. It was in February of 2014 that I was diagnosed with ductal breast cancer. And it was in the middle of my divorce. It was a very stressful time in my life. And as I told my doctor, I don't have time for this. And as she told me, that's too bad. We're dealing with it. Some things, they just fall into your life and it's like, crap, why now? Accidents, finding out you're going to have a baby, finding out you have you have cancer or a terminal illness or a chronic illness. It's like, this is not the right time. Honey, it's never a right time. The time is now. When I was diagnosed, it was my own damn fault. I am one to accept accountability. I had not had a mammogram for several years. I was good friends with my gynecologist. We all went to the same club. It was the JCC, so I knew his wife and his kids, and he knew my husband, and it was great. And I would go in every year for my physical, and it was wonderful. So it was time for my annual, and I go in. Hello, Finn. Finn wants to say good morning. Good morning, Finn. So it was time. So I go in, and the usual things happen. And he said, "We need to talk about your mams." Yeah, I know. I promise I will. I don't have time now, but we'll do it next year. I had told him this for several years. My doctor, and this is one of the many people I miss in St. Louis, was amazing. And he literally took me by the hand and said, "Come with me." And we walked down the hall. And we went to where they do the mammograms. He had already set it up. He knew what I was going to do. Yeah, I had a mammogram. Couldn't talk my way out of it. It came back. They saw something. Okay, fine. It's not the first time I've had breast cancer. I've had more lumpectomies than I could, it's not that big a deal. So when they said they saw something, it's like, okay, fine, go in, take it out. It's not that big a deal. It's not that way this time. And I remember I got the call at work, and the same day, because I went for my annual stuff in the morning, went back to the office, and I'm in my office working away, and I get a call, and they said, told me who it was, and that the mammogram came back positive. I said, okay, fine. Well, we need to do a needle biopsy. Okay, fine. Been there, done that. It's not that big a deal. Went in, had the needle biopsy. Well, I know what is going to come out, I thought. And it's just, I remember I went in for it and I wasn't worried. I wasn't scared. I remember talking to the doctor and, okay, fine. No, just set me up for whatever. We'll remove the lump. It'll be fine. Yeah, not this time. This time it was different. Because this time it was stage 3. This time it was serious. I wasn't ready for that. And he sent me to the oncologist, surgical oncologist. Okay. The first one I went to, I was not thrilled with. She viewed me as just one of many. I was a case. I was a file. Yeah. Here's what we're going to do. I was in her office maybe 10 minutes. I was so worried about this because it was stage 3. My best friend that I took care of Gary when he was initially diagnosed with multiple myeloma in 2011. I flew to Pennsylvania and took care of him for 3 months when he had stem cell transplant. That's what best friends do. Gary flew in to go with me to the doctor and hold my hand. That's a good bestie. And so we go. She says, this is what we're going to do. Okay, fine. Walk out. He catches his plane. He goes home. I start treatment. One of the girls I work with at a law firm, medical malpractice law firm in St. Louis, Sheila said, she comes to knocks on the door, comes to my office, leans against the door and says, you know what you need to do. Tell me what I need to do. She said, you need a second opinion. You know that. Yeah, I know. No. You need a second opinion. This is your life. This is stage 3. You need a second opinion. Okay. Got a second opinion at a different hospital. The first one was at Barnes Jewish. Great facility, just not the one for me. So I go to St. Luke's, which is my fave, and I get in to see this wonderful surgical oncologist. And she's just absolutely delightful, put me right at ease. And she said, okay, we need to do a dense breast scan because I was very tiny. I had very dense breast tissue. Okay, nobody had said that before. Let's do it. We did it. She comes back in the room. And she puts her hands on my knees and she says, the girls have got to go. It's time. They've got to go. And I replied, I don't have time. I'm a nurse in a medical malpractice firm. We're starting trial in May. I don't have time. This was in February, March, probably March, April. I would say March. I don't have time. And she said, oh, well, let me make a note of this. And so she's mocking me, of course. And she said, patient does not have time for treatment or surgery, but we will make time to die. Okay, got the message. Let me get through trial. We'll do it. Okay. By the time I got home, she had everything set up. And she told me, I want you, when the trial is over, to take a couple of weeks, and I want you to go on vacation. I want you to get some rest. You're going to need it because you've got a fight ahead of you. Okay. And I did. I left her office, and I remember this like it was yesterday. And I walked out to my car. And as I'm walking to my car, there was a family that was in the waiting room with me. She had gone through cancer many times, such as I had. And we were all talking, and she said, if it's back, I'm not doing anything about it. I'm done this time. Her kids were with her, her husband, beautiful family. And we're trying to be optimistic with her and for her. And they walk out in tears. So I knew that she got bad news and she wasn't going to do anything about it. She was done, which is her choice. So I sit in my car and I cry. I burst into tears. I made a fool of myself crying. And then I saw them and I thought, okay, I got to do this because I'm going to work with families like them. I'm going to help them. Because, in my belief, when things happen in your life, God's not punishing you. It's giving you the experience to go through this and then to help somebody else, to light the path for someone else, to guide them, to lift them up and encourage them on their journey. Okay, so I called Gary, my best friend, and I told him. He cried with me. I was just devastated because I just knew. We changed chemo. I'd been on the wrong chemo for a couple of months. Great. I thought we get on the right chemo, we take the lumps out, we're good. How did I know that's not an option anymore? I had to be realistic now. My life is going to change. I am going to change. I'm not going to look the same way that I look now. That was hard. My oncologist had set me up to see a reconstructive surgeon. I said, no, I'm good. Don't worry about it. I don't have that much to work with anyway, because at the time, this is way too much information. 5'6", I weighed about 130 pounds, about what I weigh now. And my chest was a 32B. I was very small. She said, Brenda, you need this emotionally. I cannot let you have your breasts removed and just go through life like that. She said, that's not fair to you. You don't know what you're doing to yourself. Okay, this is very controversial and not everybody agrees with this, but I listened to Patty, my surgeon, and I made the appointment. And I went in to see Sam, brilliant plastic surgeon, put me at ease, and it's going to be okay. Ultimately, we looked through literally catalogs of breasts to pick out what we wanted to do. And I closed it because, for one, I know there are people that would give their eye teeth to go through these pictures, but it's no. And I closed the book and I shoved it to him and I said, Sam, you are a plastic surgeon. You're a reconstructive surgeon. You are an artist. I want you to put on my body what you think would look best. And he did. So I went on vacation and I come back and it's the day of surgery. Gary comes in, of course, because he's going to be there to take care of me like I took care of him. And we get to the hospital and I'm pretty calm. I really am. I had resigned. This is what it's going to be. It's going to be okay. No matter what the outcome, I'm okay because I'm still Brenda. And now I have a mission to help other people. I have to get through this so I can help other people. The surgery went well. I went home. It was daunting because I got home. I am not the best patient. Nurses make awful patients. And same-day surgery for a double mastectomy, I know. And I took the bandages off. And I was just, there aren't words. There are not words. Imagine a turkey on Christmas or Thanksgiving after the family's done eating and you just have the skeleton, you just have bones and skin left. That's all I had. They removed all the breast tissue. They removed muscle. All I had was a rib cage and skin over it. And they put in tissue expanders, balloons that they would inflate to stretch my skin to accommodate what they were going to put in. It was horrific. And I remember crying. And Gary held me as I cried. And I said, nobody is ever going to want me. Not looking like this. And Gary, my best friend's making bad jokes. He said, nobody's going to want you anyway. Don't worry about it. Well, this is not the time for those jokes because I'm devastated. And he reminded me, he said, who cares? Because you're you. Brenda is not the breast. Brenda is the heart and the soul and the brain. And they didn't remove that. And he was right. I hated to admit it, but he was right. Somebody's wanting in on this. So I went through all the tissue expansion. It took several months. They would go in with 100 cc's and inject the balloons in my chest and stretch the skin. Sam's a brilliant surgeon. I had no pain, no discomfort, nothing the entire time. I would go in for the inflation every week, every 10 days, and we would make jokes about it, and it was fine. I had no problem. Then it was time to take out the tissue expanders and put in the new implants. Again, it went fine. I didn't have any problems. I was blessed. I had a wonderful surgical team, wonderful oncologist, wonderful reconstructive surgeon, and more than anything, the love and support of my friends. My family, my dad was dying. Daddy was 300-400 miles away. I was in St. Louis. He was in the Ozarks. And he's dying. This is happening by the time my last surgery, I want to say it was December. And I didn't know at the time, but my dad was going to pass in March. But we knew he was dying. He knew he was dying. So all of this time, I couldn't drive down after surgery to see him. I didn't have clearance to drive. So we FaceTimed and we talked all the time, but still, I needed to see my dad. Family was concerned, and we all agreed, your focus should be on Daddy. I'll be fine. Focus on Daddy. But my friends, my besties, got me through this. We worked together, many of us, Lynn, Lisa, Clay. We worked together every day. They had my back. My best friend Gary and his family, his kids, had my back. They would send me care packages and keep me lifted up. just other friends like Steve Kirkman, who had been a friend. He was a client of my ex-husband who was an attorney. So, I mean, I had people all over the country here for me, lifting me up, encouraging me, letting me know it's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. We are all still friends to this day. We will always be friends. Because after you go through something like this, you bond. People I went to high school with, you know, and I'm going to say a few names here, and they may or may not recall what a big help they were for me, just through text messages, emails, and phone calls. From Scotty. We go back to 7th grade. We've known each other a long time. Scotty and Carrie and Peggy and Robin. A lot of us have known each other since childhood. A lot of us have lost a lot of classmates to cancer. A lot. And that's always in the back of our minds. But I have such a huge thanks to these people because they were there for me every step of the way. They would call, they would lift me up, they would make me laugh. I'd have a bad day. They were there. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to say, I'm having a bad day. It's okay. Don't deny other people the blessing of helping you because you love to help other people. So don't deny them the blessing of helping you. That was a hard lesson for me. That was really hard. I got over it. It's okay. Now, 11 years later, I am in the best health I have ever been. Seriously, I just went to the doctor a couple of weeks ago. I am in outstanding health. Yay. I look good. I feel good. I weigh the same. I'm 5'6", I weigh 130 pounds. Please, for somebody 66 years old, that's great. I'm on thyroid medication because I had my thyroid removed. Okay. And throughout all of this, I have diabetes, or I did. I don't now. I'm pre-diabetic. My numbers are perfect, but I do take something for that. Okay. I'm not on blood pressure medication, heart medication. I don't have health issues because I learned my lesson. I procrastinated and ended up with breast cancer. Had I had the mammogram early enough, it could have been caught. It could have been dealt with. I wouldn't have had the surgery. I wouldn't have gone through chemo and all that it did to my body. Life lesson learned. I stay on top of things now. I go to the doctor. I take care of myself. I eat a relatively kind of sort of healthy diet. I live a healthy lifestyle. I'm a happy person. I am content with my life. I refuse to allow trauma drama in my life. I help people with their trauma drama all day at work, through my trauma therapy practice, with friends and family. I'm always there for them. In my personal life, I don't do trauma drama. If you bring trauma drama into my life, you can step away because I'm not getting involved. It's your trauma drama, not mine. So, if you would please, today, do something to celebrate with me. Have a caramel macchiato, have a latte, have a chai, have a donut. Do something to join me in celebrating 11 years cancer-free. Because doggone it, I'm worthy, and so are you.